Alright, so I've kind of teased this a few times, but now it's finally time to show you the Nova's new engine. This is my cat. So on social media and such, people guessed, a lot of different stuff. Another LS, stroker small block, Ford swaps, Hemi swaps. A couple people did say 2JZ, but I wonder how serious they really were. I'm obviously dead serious. This, of course, if you don't know what it is, it's a 1JZ GTE. It's a Toyota engine. It's inline 6 with a turbo. It's got variable valve timing, and it's just an awesome engine. I've always loved JZ engines, even outside of the Supra. I think the Supra's cool, but I like the engine more than I like the car by far. People put them in tons of stuff: S chassis, drift cars, drag race cars. As far as I know, this may be a world first. In terms, I definitely have not seen a 1JZ in a Nova before. Definitely not a third gen Nova. A few people might have done it on older generation Novas, totally different chassis. But I have yet to see a real, like street car 1JZ swap Nova out there. And like I said, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm still pinching myself that this thing is even here and it's real and I can touch it. Obviously, it's missing a few things. And right now, this is just mocked up. I don't have the right oil pan. I don't have engine mounts or anything. I'm hoping to use the same radiator like I mentioned in the last video. And I'm gonna get a Nissan CD09 6-speed transmission. Obviously there is nothing there right now, just a jack helping to hold it up, and that's gonna involve some surgery on the transmission tunnel. All for the best, if I'm honest, because I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but there's a bit of a hole in the floor and it's not a pretty one. This swap is actually gonna help solve quite a few interesting quirks with the car. Things like reliability and such. It'll be a little bit better having fuel injection. It'll be more fun in general. It's gonna sound amazing. I'm gonna save my exhaust plans until we get to that point. But just like this engine choice, I'm sure nobody's gonna see it coming unless I've told you what I'm planning. A few people have known about this being my plan for a little while now, months. And they know some other stuff about my plans for the setup and all that as well. But it's I'm definitely gonna have my own unique flair on it, my own kind of taste, put my own spin on things. That's kind of the whole point of my YouTube name and social media and all that. I can't stress enough how excited I am. I also have the front end just mocked up for now. None of this is really mounted. It's just being held in by a couple bolts, just to check clearances, that sort of thing, and there's just miles of room. This car was originally an inline 6 car, and so I figured, what the heck, why not go for the arguably the best family of inline 6 engines ever made. A lot of people will argue that. A lot of people will support me in that statement as well. It's all down to preference, but the JZ has a true pedigree behind it as well. I mean, even the 1JZ, which is older than the 2JZ, was developed in conjunction with Yamaha for Toyota, and it really speaks for itself in terms of the kind of capability these engines have just built in dead stock. This is a totally stock. I'm pretty sure basically this is one of the latest iterations of the 1JZ. They were sold in cars upwards of, I think, 2007 in Japan. I got to figure out power steering. I got to do an AC delete of sorts. Still got to figure out my plan for that. I'm going to be simplifying a lot of this here. This is known as the J pipe because it really does look like a huge J. But there are companies that make delete kits for it, and they also simplify the intake tube as well. I'm looking into that. I'm just really, really ready to make this car what I've always wanted it to be, what I've always planned and intended it to be, which is crazy, unique, and just fun, and what I enjoy. And a lot of people are pretty excited too. I've already kind of shown this on my Instagram. If you don't follow me, follow me there. So, a good amount of people know about it now, but this is kind of the reveal in all its glory, especially with the front end, and I'm just so excited for that. I can't wait to have a front mount sitting in the front. I'm probably going to drive around for a long time with no hood, just so I can look at the thing. I'm gonna, clean up things in the engine, planning on doing gaskets and all that. Basically enjoy it stock for a little while and then build it up as I go on. I've got plans for the chassis in the future. I'm gonna be upgrading the fuel system. Finally, we'll have a bigger fuel cell because my fuel cell is only 8 gallons, and that doesn't get you very far. It was originally a street strip car, so literally just fill it up, go to the track, and drive home. That was it. But I do want to be able to drive around town a bit, cruise of friends. I'm excited to kind of get into something that I've just always dreamed of. Like I said, I've always wanted to have a JZ in a car someday, and I just can't believe that today is that day. Actually, 2 days ago. Yesterday was my birthday, and my original plan was to have the old engine sold and the new engine acquired in my hands, ready to start working on it by my birthday. And by the grace of God, it actually all happened. It all kind of fell together within like a weekend, and I ripped the engine out in one day, and then the Monday after, what do we do? A day and a half after, I picked up the new engine. I've been talking about plans for a while. I do know that. If you know me, I do like to talk about ideas for cars all the time. I like to spitball things. Wouldn't it be cool if this engine was in that car and you could do this with that and all that? People joke that the JZ is the LS of the JDM world, and it kind of is. It's a bigger, more powerful, easy to make power type swap, just like the LS is. Power per maybe not always horsepower, but power, dollar per kind of performance, horsepower, fun, whatever you want to kind of insert there, is pretty high with JZs, just like it is with LSs. I was able to get a good deal on the engine. Josef from JDM Westside here in San Diego hooked me up. Shout out also to my friend Justin, who recommended I check him out. A big thanks to Josef. He helped me out. He made sure I had a MAF sensor ready to go with it. He made sure everything was complete. He actually got me non-immobilizer ECU as well, which is a big plus, because otherwise you can run into a lot of issues with the immobilizers. Just, you literally might need a key for the car the engine came out of, and if you don't have it, it's really difficult to work around it. But luckily I should not have that issue with this car. I have to, I'm going to be taking all this stuff off, putting it on the engine stand. I've already got stuff ready to go for that. And then the next video is kind of going to be basically a walk around on the engine, the condition that it's in. JDM Westside sells these engines with a 30-day startup warranty, which means if you get it started within 30 days, any issues are covered under warranty. I'm not really sure if that's going to be able to happen here. There's a chance I might be able to at least get the engine to fire and run, but it won't be driving or anywhere near driving condition, of course, but we'll kind of see. But I am interested in the condition of things under the valve covers, inside the oil pan, that sort of thing. I already spun the engine. It spins free, and the engines are supposed to be compression tested and basically known to be good running engines before JDM Westside even brings them into the US. So I'm really looking forward to, it looks pretty good, but I'm looking forward to kind of getting into it and just refreshing it all, making sure it's all 100% clean slate, and then not have any issues down the line with leaks or anything like that, and fix things that I put off for the last few years because, to do that I might have to pull the engine, or to do that it's gonna, the car's gonna be down for a while. Obviously the car's gonna be down for a long time here. I'm hoping, my ultimate goal is to have this running and driving no later than the end of this summer. That means by the end of August or bust. This car will be running and driving, boosting, making crazy turbo noises, and amazing JZ music in a 71 Chevy Nova. That is the plan, and honestly, it actually looks a little bit easier than I thought. It might seem a little intimidating because this is not intended to be in this car at all. But I figured, like I said, the car originally came with an inline-six, so it should fit. I'll get to both utilize some skills that maybe I haven't been able to really use in the past, and also learn some new ones, kind of relearn some. There's definitely going to be welding involved here, so you'll definitely see that in the future. Like I said, if you haven't, make sure to subscribe, like, comment. You know, feel free to share. You know, if you think this is a crazy thing you want to show your friends, hey, look what this guy's doing. Hit the share button. You know, share the love. And you can follow me on Instagram again, and you know, kind of follow day-to-day things, and you know, come along for the ride. Like I said, I'm so excited, and I'll see you guys in the next one.